Hi friends! Yesterday I suggested to you the idea that in order to form a true, deep, lasting connection with another person, it requires both knowing and accepting. If you know me and all of my pain and my weakness, and you accept me for who I am, then we can form a relationship that is helpful and supportive and transformational. The same is true for our relationship with God. In theological terms, I would say that knowing is judgment and accepting is grace. Let's start with grace. Grace is the unmerited, unconditional, unlimited love of God in Jesus. It's given as a free gift. There's nothing we can do to earn it, there's nothing we can do to deserve it, and it doesn't run out after a certain number of do-overs. Many people have a hard time with grace. I mean, we live in a culture that's pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or you get what you deserve. It doesn't seem fair that someone who is less faithful or less talented or less dedicated than I am should get the same gift, right? The other common complaint against grace is that people can do whatever they want and it doesn't matter because God loves them anyway. So where's the justice in that? Often we focus so much on the accepting side that we forget about the knowing side. We focus so much on grace that we forget about judgment. The truth is that they go hand in hand. Judgment is the other side of the same coin as grace. If God loves you and accepts you for who you are, then God has to judge you for who you are. God has to judge our weaknesses and our failures, our shortcomings and self-centeredness, our grumpiness and sinfulness and all the rest. If God turns a blind eye and doesn't judge us, then God doesn't really know us, and therefore God can't really accept us for who we are. If God judged us without loving us, we'd be in big trouble. But if God loved us without judging us, then it would only be superficial. But God both judges and loves us. He knows us and accepts us, so that our relationship with God is transformative, and we are connected to God in deep, meaningful, and lasting ways. From my childhood to about my mid-20s, I was pretty afraid of the judgment of God. And I'll be honest, there are some days when I still feel that way. I know that there are some churches and some flavors of Christianity that use that fear to push people into becoming Christian. I had a neighbor one time who told me when she found out that I was a pastor that if she didn't go home scared, she didn't feel like she'd been in church. And I said, then my church probably isn't the one for you. She and her family did end up coming to our church and getting involved there. And she told me later that it was such a different experience for her to go home feeling loved and accepted instead of in fear and trembling. As I have come to understand judgment as a partner of grace, I experience it less as a threat and more as a promise. A promise that God knows me for who I am. A promise that God loves me anyway. And the same is true for you. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again tomorrow.